So, hey guys, my name is Madison. I'm from Eastern Kentucky and I watch these videos on YouTube all the time and decided that maybe it would be fun to tell my stories. So, a little introduction is that I'm married, got married in December 29th, and me and my husband have 4 dogs in the house currently, but one of them I'm just babysitting for the week, so if you see them in the video, they're my babies. And I have a cat. She'll probably be on the chair at some point, but whatever. Anyways, so I'm doing a story time, and it's like a scary story, I guess you would say. It was creepy. But before I lived here, I was at my uncle's, but I moved to my uncle's mainly because this happened. So it was my senior year of college, and me and my sister and my roommate in college, which I love, she's actually my sister-in-law now, we moved out, and we were in this town, but we moved like 15 minutes out of town to this apartment. It was my sister's boyfriend's parents, like, second house that they had, and they were like, yeah, we can live in it, pay rent, blah blah blah. It was a good deal too, so I mean, college kid, no money, yeah, it was nice. So, and I knew the family, and they were just really good people. So I moved out there before my senior year of college started, in probably like July, and college started in August. So we were there like a month, and my roommate in college, so my sister-in-law now, she actually decided to go back home with her mom and stay with her mom because of personal reasons. That doesn't matter. But anyways, one night I come home and my sister's like, telling me like that she heard this knocking or whatever, and I was like, like whatever. Someone probably knocked on the door and ran. Like, that's not unusual. I mean, kind of, but so. And then she told me like a few days later, because I was just kind of blew that off, like, well, whatever. And then like a few days later, she was telling me how her boyfriend's mom and dad were woken up by this knocking on the side window of their house at like 3 in the morning. And it wasn't just like a knock, it was like banging on this window. And they got up and went, and the motion light was on. Well, then there was nothing there, like nothing at all. So then now there's 2 people, or I guess 3 if you can count both parents, that said they have heard this knocking. So I still hadn't heard it, so I was just like, maybe somehow they're misunderstanding what this noise is. Then I was like, well, this is getting a little weird, like blah blah blah, but it was still just kind of like, eh. So then my sister's boyfriend's sister, she was asleep downstairs in the house that we were renting out, because there's like a upstairs was like basically a full house, and the bottom floor was a full house as well. So she was asleep downstairs on the couch, and there was a window right in front of her, just like a little window. And it was like late in the morning, I guess, or whatever you want to say. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and they heard this knocking. And like they got up off the couch because it was clearly a knock, and hid because they thought someone was like looking in on them, like they weren't for sure. But then again, the motion lights were on, but then they got their mom and dad to come, and they looked and nobody was there. But it had been a few minutes, so if there had been somebody, they technically could have got away. But the motion lights went off and nobody was seen. That's the dogs. So my sister's boyfriend's family down the road, a few houses, said that they were woken up in the middle of the night by banging on their front door, and they ran outside with a shotgun, and nobody was there, and their dogs were like going crazy, but like there was nobody there, and nobody had really had that much time to like completely get out of the way, because there wasn't a lot of coverage, I guess, to hide. But so nobody was seen. So after they showed up at my sister's boyfriend's cousin's house, I still hadn't heard it, so I was still just like, well, like maybe they're trying to like pull one over on me, like who knows. So, but then one night I was there. Well, I was there every night, but like I finally heard it. So I was in my room, and it was like a hallway and like of just doors, and then a hallway connected to another hallway where the kitchen was and the living room. And the kitchen doors had 2 double doors. So all kinds of glass windows like you could see. So I was in my bedroom and all of a sudden there was like, it was like bang, 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 bang. Like it sounded like someone had both their hands just like really, really, really hitting the door so hard. So freaked me out, number one, because I was like, what the crap? And then me and my sister both run to the door and nothing is there. But yet again, the motion light is on. Nobody's outside. Nobody. So at this point we're like, we need to get cameras, like, and put something up so if someone is there, like, maybe we'll catch them on camera. Like, why would they be doing this, number one? And number two, like, why are we not seeing them if someone is doing it? And then that brings up the whole, like, paranormal thing. We'll get into that in a minute. Anyways, another little snippet story. So, another night when I heard it, my boyfriend at the time, but my husband now, we were watching a movie on Netflix. I don't even remember what the movie was, but in my room, and my bed's like right here, and there's a window right here, like literally right next to the head of the bed. And I didn't hear it at first, but he thought he heard something, but with the sound of the TV, it was like, I don't know. But it was just, it sounded like someone was like tapping on the window. Just like a lot, like little like tap. If I don't know how to make the noise. Well then, we like paused the TV or something, and then it was like they did it again, just like tapping on the window. So that freaked me out. I didn't look. I refused to look. But by this point, me and my sister had covered every window in the house. I mean, there was a lot of windows. You don't realize how many windows are in a house until you need a blanket or something to cover the window. I mean, you could not see outside and you could not see in. Like, so I had a blanket even over my curtains just because my curtains were thin and I didn't want someone to still look in if someone was out there. And I didn't want to be able to see them because that would have freaked me out. I'm a pansy. Well, so at this point, like, I freaked out and went out there to my sister and told her, and I can't remember if the motion lights were on for this one, but I mean, with how everything else went, probably, but I don't remember. And there was motion lights on both sides of the house. But so then we were like, well, we are going to get some type of camera. So we ended up getting a deer camera and put it in a tree, and it was like one that wasn't very visible, but it would just take pictures if something was moving. And then my sister got a GoPro and put it outside at night, and that thing can last a while, and you can actually watch it in live view through your phone. So if we had heard something, we could look at the phone and look instantly instead of having to go out or go back and watch the footage. So one night we had it out there, and we were just like, it was pretty late because it usually happened at either around midnight or it'd be like 4 or 5 in the morning. Like, it was always pretty consistently either one of those, which was weird. But so we put cameras up and we actually heard it. Like, it happened almost every night. So I mean, there was a good chance we were gonna hear it. But and this went on for like months. But those are just like the main stories. But we heard it, so we looked at the thing, but we didn't see nothing. And then she could like record it off her phone or whatever, or keep the clip so it was on her phone and not the GoPro anymore. So, and in it you can hear noise, but like you can't see nothing. You can't see nothing move, but like you could hear like the knock, and it was just a light knock. Like, it wasn't like a big knock, like the pounding on the kitchen door. So freaky. So, and that now comes back to the paranormal. Like, I don't really know how I feel about all that, but they'd already said that upstairs, where we were staying in like the upstairs house, they'd always said it was haunted, and like they had a ghost named Elsie. I don't know why they chose Elsie. I can't remember if that was like a grandmother or what, but it was haunted by Elsie. And like they would hear footsteps sometimes, but I never heard anything while I was there, or anything weird really, except for the knocking. Except for one night, this was inside the house. I was helping my husband now, but boyfriend then, study, and he gets sidetracked so easy and was trying to not do it. And anyways, so we were laying there, and he was like, the light started flickering in the kitchen. I mean, we were in the living room, and the light started flickering, and he was like, if this is a demon, turn the lights off. And then, I'm not kidding, the lights went off. It freaked me out. I'm, again, a pansy. And then I was like, God, please turn it back on. Like, they literally came right back on. So that was weird. Like, it really freaked me out. I've, like, threatened his life. Like, if he ever said anything like that again. And that's my cat. Anyways. She's playing with the dogs. The dogs are not hurting her. So, I don't know, long story short, if the knocking that we heard for months, I mean, I lived there from like July and moved out about May. And I only remember it was May because it was right before my college graduation. And I graduated like the first weekend in May. And it was like literally continued up until I left. And I don't know, we never figured out what it was. We never figured it out. We never figured out what it was or nothing. Like, I have no idea. And that stuff just kind of freaks me out. I mean, you guys can tell me if you've had anything similar happen or how you handle something like that. But, so, when I moved out, me and my sister started arguing, and like, I didn't really want to live there anyways, but that freaked me out, and I was afraid to go outside, basically, like at night, anytime after dark, because I was just like afraid someone was out there. And the side note, one night it was like 1 in the morning, and my sister saw people walking down the railroad tracks that were right in front of the house. So I mean, it could have been anybody. There's some sketchy people that live where we were staying. Like, crazy things happen there all the time, but nothing crazy like that. So we never heard anybody else complain about that besides my sister's boyfriend's cousin that one time when they ran outside with a shotgun. So I'm not for sure like what happened or with it, but it's not happened in a long time, and my sister still lives there. I'm not for sure why it happened or why it stopped, or I have no idea. What do you guys think? You can let me know. But this will not be my last video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Sorry if I talk fast or whatever, but I'll get better. First video. Bye.